O. Book journaling. Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. We are going to do some bookish things, which I feel like I haven't done in a while. I think the only bookish thing that I've done is read, and even that I've only been reading for like 15-20 minutes a day. I just want to be doing bookish things. I feel like it's been way too long since I've done any of those things, and the first thing that I'm actually gonna do is go to Barnes & Noble. I really want to get one of the pumpkin spice drinks and then maybe buy a book. I really want to read Misery by Stephen King, but I don't know if I want to buy it, so I might hold off on it and just browse, you know? All right, let's go. I am back home and I wanted to do a little bit of journaling, but this is book journaling. It's kind of like a book tracker. My teacher bestie actually gave me this one for, I think it was like Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. And I was gonna fill it out with all of the books that I've read this year, but I think it's a little bit too late for that because we're almost at the end of the year. There's only about 3 months left of this year. So I think I'm gonna switch this and make this a book journal of my 5-star reads. I don't know if I want to include 4.5 stars, but I know I definitely want to write down and keep track of all of my 5-star reads and my favorite books of all time, and that's what we're gonna do right now. So let me just show you the ones that I have so far. All right, so this is what it kind of looks like. Lightlark was the very first book that I read this year, and it was 4 stars. The Wicked King by Holly Black was 5 stars. Then I read Catcher in the Rye because my boyfriend made me read it. This one was definitely 3 stars. Then I read Flores and Miss Paula by Melissa Rivero. This was my very first book that I read by a Hispanic author, and I really loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. Then I read Vampires of El Norte by Isabella Cañas. This is also by a Hispanic author, and it was 5 stars. It was so good. And then The Collector. This one was 4.5 stars. Then I read The Body Snatchers. I was so obsessed with this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. And then I read This Spells Love by Kate Robb. This was one of my favorite books. I gave it 5 stars. And then the 11th book that I stopped journaling at is Shatter Me by Tahera Mafi. This one is really good. I am obsessed with the series, and I'm obsessed with the first book because it's the start of the series. And yeah, I just love this one, and it's perfect for fall time as well. If you watched my previous video of visiting all the bookstores in my city, I came to one bookstore that lets me trade in books. But before I go in, I'm going to show you the 3 books that I brought to swap. The first book that I'm going to swap out is going to be Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I've had this book forever. I just know that I'm not going to read this book. It's been sitting on my bookshelf for almost a whole year, and I just know I'm not going to read it, so I'm going to trade it in today. And then same thing with this one. This is called The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. this one has also been sitting on my bookshelf right next to this one. Actually, I got them at the same time, and this one I just know I'm not gonna read it and it doesn't really capture my interest, so I'm gonna trade this one in as well. And the last book that I'm gonna trade in is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I think it's Colleen Hoover. I actually did read this one and I did not like it. It was just it was too much for me, and I know that I don't want to keep it on my bookshelf because I'm never gonna pick it up again. I don't even want to recommend it to people because it was just doing too much. All right, let's go inside. Alright, I'm back. I did end up getting 2 books. The first one that I got is The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This is a World War II historical fiction novel, and I've been wanting to read this for the longest time. It's been on my TBR for like a year, and now that I finally found it, I'm actually gonna read it. I think this will be perfect for like November, December, but I know it's gonna make me cry, but I also really want to read it. I also got A Man Called Ove. I watched the movie and it made me cry so much, and I know that this book is also gonna make me cry. It's about this man named Ove who's just this grumpy old man, and all of his neighbors think he's just super bitter, but he does get new neighbors that move into the neighborhood that he lives in, and it kind of changes his life and makes him a lot more likable, and it's just a very heartwarming story. So I know that I want to read this in the winter. I loved the movie and now I want to read the book, because if I love the movie, I'm thinking I'm gonna love the book too. I just got off of work and I'm so excited because the library that I'm gonna go to actually has the book that I'm looking for. I've been trying to get Misery by Stephen King and I've been wanting to buy it, but I think I'm just gonna get it at the library because the library totally has it in stock. So I think I'm just gonna do that. All right, let's go inside. Alright, I'm back from the library and they totally had Misery. I'm so excited. I did also find The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I saw this one and this was in their honor system section, so I didn't have to check it out. I can have it as long as I want, but I do have to eventually return it. Alright, now let's move on to our next bookish thing. I've done a few bookish things in this video, except I only read for like 20 minutes, and that's because I think I'm in a reading slump. I haven't been reading or doing anything book related in the month of October, and I didn't want to admit that I was in a reading slump, but I am in a reading slump and I'm really sad about it. But I think my next video is going to be trying to get out of this reading slump, because I realized that I haven't finished a single book in the month of October, and I want to finish at least one book. But every single book that I picked up, I started but can't seem to have the motivation to finish. But doing all of these bookish things, I think really helped get me motivated to start reading again. Now I just need to find that one book that gets me out of this reading slump, and that's gonna be in the next video. So I'm gonna end the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.